Welcome back, everybody. Talking Marikana, remembering 4 years ago, and some people talking to us on Twitter. Let me just read one or two. Ziba saying, I foresee another silent protest, this time about our Deputy President, Cyril Ramaphosa, and the Marikana massacre. All right, that's just an opinion. Ziba writing into us here at Morning Live SABC. Mr. Maudi writing and saying, I'm not hearing solutions suggested for Marikana. We should provide compelling solutions and assist Lonmin. Well, let's try and do that, because with us here in studio, just remaining with us to talk a little bit more, we've got Mulea Mwananyanda, is Amnesty International's Deputy Regional Director for Southern Africa. They did a report into it. They had a look at how far things have come, and they've compiled a list of recommendations. So what is on your list of recommendations? What would you like to see happening?
Right. So we would like to see the Minister of Mineral Resources require the Department of Mineral Resources to at least sanction Lonmin for not meeting its obligations under the social and labour plans. That the Department of Mineral Resources should provide that oversight role. We also would like the Minister of Mineral Resources to require the Department of Mineral Resources to at least request or direct Lonmin that their reports are made public, on their sustainability reports are made public, their reports on their social and labour plans are also made public, so that they are open to scrutiny and people, stakeholders, communities and all of those involved can make comments on those particular reports. We've also made specific recommendations to Lonmin that Lonmin should really meet its obligations under the social and labour plan, because in terms of the mining charter, if they do not meet their social and labour plans, the Department of Mineral Resources is entitled to sanction them or to withdraw its mining license. So we would like to see those kinds of moves made towards Lonmin, and Lonmin should also stop providing contradictory reports, sustainability reports to its shareholders. We've also made specific recommendations to Lonmin's shareholders that shareholders should ensure that Lonmin presents correct sustainability reports that are not contradictory. But as a campaigning organization, we will also now go into campaign mode globally. So we will be campaigning to Lonmin's shareholders to hold Lonmin accountable.
Sure. Look, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, one would think that the Department of Mineral Resources would have done something by now. We are talking 4 years later, and these recommendations by the Farnham Commission, how binding are they? I mean, how far would it be taken if they don't agree by these recommendations, or are they exactly just that, recommendations, and if Lonmin abide, well, then so be it, and if they don't, that's fine as well?
Well, look, recommendations are supposed to carry this, they're not legally binding, but they are supposed to carry some form of authority, and meaning that you cannot just ignore them because you want to ignore them. You should actually show that you are trying to do something about the recommendations. So Lonmin should show that they're trying to do something about the recommendations.
And the department's intervention?
In terms of the Department of Mineral Resources, like I said earlier, the department is really short of resources. So what needs to happen is that that particular department needs to be resourced in order for it to provide its oversight role on Lonmin. So, for example, the department, we were told that the department only has 20 or 30 site visits a year, which is not enough through the entire mining belt. They should do more, but they are not able to because they don't have the human resources to do that.
let's unfortunately leave it there this morning, but I think giving us a great understanding as to the developments since Marikana 4 years ago, and the Farlam Commission and those recommendations don't appear to be implemented at all. But I think it's only fair that we invite Lonman into studio. I'd love to talk to Lonman. Really, this is an open invitation to get the response from Lonman, and also to get somebody from the Department of Mineral Resources to come in and talk to us as well as to their role and why they have not intervened at all for the lives of these miners that are certainly not improving at all. Thanks for talking to us,
Thank you
Malaya.
very much.
It's always a pleasure having you. Malaya's from Amnesty International. She's the Deputy Director for Campaigns in the Southern African region.